Comments from the Business and Economics panel.
Hello, my name is Ian Tonks and I'm the convener of the Business and Economics panel of the Research Assessment Exercise 2020. I'm a Professor of Finance at the University of Bristol in the United Kingdom, and I'll now hand over to Denise.
Thank you, Ian. I'm Denise Osborne. I'm an Emeritus Professor of Econometrics in the Economics Department at the University of Manchester. And in fact, I participated in both RAE 2014 and RAE 2020 as Deputy Convener of this panel.
The Business and Economics panel comprised 4 units of assessment. Unit of Assessment 20 in Accountancy, 21 in Economics and Finance, 22 in Business, which was split further into 6 subdisciplines, and Unit 23, Hotel Management and Tourism. Around 600 academic staff from the 7 universities made submissions to this panel, with more than 2,200 research outputs, 55 impact cases, and 22 environment submissions. Outputs covered local and global issues, with impact studies more focused on domestic and regional issues.
The panel had 36 non-local members, so there was a large international group assessing the research from Hong Kong. And that 36 non-local members obviously included Ian and myself, as well there were 17 local members. And those 17 local members included 6 local research end users or non-academic members.
Are the universities performing well in the RAE 2020?
The Business and Economics panel judged the overall quality of submissions to be high across all 4 units of assessment. Almost 1/3 of the submissions were rated as world leading, which represented a doubling of the percentage at this level in comparison with RAE 2014. The panel was particularly impressed with the research environment and research impact cases in accountancy and tourism and management, with all submissions in these categories judged to be either world leading or international excellent quality. In economics and finance and business, most impact submissions were also graded at international excellence or above, but there was more variability in these 2 units of assessment. The overall profile for RAE 2020 represents a substantial improvement on that in RAE 2014, especially at the world-leading level.
The panel also judged the quality to be broadly comparable across the 4 UOAs, which implies that the 7 submitting universities to these UOAs contribute impressive research across the various subjects that constitute business and economics. And that was particularly impressive, that we felt that there was a comparable high quality across all 4 UOAs. The panel members believed that the research output of the submitting universities as a whole was significantly higher than the average worldwide university.
Faculty members in Hong Kong published significantly more high impact papers than the average university, for example, in the US. Many of the research outputs were of high quality across the 4 UOAs, and this was reflected in them being published in leading international journals.
There was some variance across researchers and across universities, and that's entirely to be expected. Different universities have different areas in which they concentrate. And on the whole, the panel found that the research quality had improved since the last assessment.
What are the strengths of the 8 UGC-funded universities?
I will quote from some of the assessors' reports that assessors made in commenting on particular strengths in the area. Now, there were strengths across all 4 units of assessment, but for example, in business, one of the assessors in marketing commented that the research was of very high quality and comparable to institutions in the US, and this was consistent with the fact that many faculty members in Hong Kong universities served on important editorial boards, editorial positions on boards of journals. In the accountancy field, the research was, an assessor commented that the research was very strong, both in terms of the research outputs and the support. And the RAE system seems to provide very strong incentives for faculty to produce and publish excellent research at the highest level. In tourism and hospitality related research, an assessor noted that the research compared favourably with institutions in the UK, and the research is certainly of world class at the top end.
In the area of economics and finance, one of the assessors commented, and this was one of the international assessors, commented that they were pleasantly surprised by the overall quality of the research. And this was across all the areas of submission. There was also comment that there were outputs of the highest quality, particularly, but not limited to, more technical areas. And that comment, in fact, similar comments came from a number of members of the business and economics panel in this area. So the strength in the more technical areas was particularly noted. There was a good breadth of theoretical topics, and most of those theoretical topics were well motivated, with interesting questions being addressed. So the overall quality of the outputs was strong, was viewed as strong in the area.
How could the universities strive for further excellence?
The assessed UGC-funded universities perform very favourably with institutions in the UK, and the research is certainly of world class at the top end. Hong Kong universities are very well resourced in general and have a clear focus and strategy, enabling them to operate at the highest academic and international level.
It's clear that the Hong Kong university's status has risen in terms of international research. That said, it would be encouraging, and we would encourage the universities to think about ways to have more innovative, groundbreaking and thought-leading research.
With respect to outputs, I think more interdisciplinary research and policy-orientated research addressing the needs and advantages of the Hong Kong environment and the region would be a suitable focus. With respect to research impact, apart from the research being published in top international journals, researchers should also take into account and build into their research their ultimate contribution to society. With respect to the research environment, it's important that the research objectives are clear and differentiate from other universities and clearly communicate that to their faculty.
Having taken part in the RAE in both 2020 and in 2014, I was impressed by the improvement made by the Hong Kong universities over this period. Some panel members commented that a few of the Hong Kong schools are world-class, and I would agree with that from the evidence I've seen in these assessments, particularly this most recent one. And they rival the Big Ten group within the US and the leading institutions in the UK and elsewhere in the world.
So in conclusion, the two of us congratulate the Hong Kong universities for an outstanding performance over the last 6 years. And we look forward to further research excellence from Hong Kong universities. Thank you.